tech bass. There's a little key tech bass. Come on, little feller. Not a big fish, but a little buck bass that's up there in the shallows. This time of year is a lot of fun to fish. Right after the spawn's about over with, man, you can throw spinner baits, and it's kind of calm today. So, you know, we're at Roosevelt Lake, and all I'm doing is throwing a Key-Tech swim bait, basically, Key-Tech. And then I'm throwing a 4/0, big old wide gap hook on that dude. It's a bigger type swim bait. So I like to throw something that's got a little bit of meat to it. I'm throwing my bait caster to where when they get it. Plus, what I like about this heavy duty hook is the fact that it helps weight the bait down as you're swimming it. So I'm throwing it weightless without the weight, but it, you know, it looks really good in the water. It's got a good swimming action. See if I can throw it down and let you see the swimming action on this thing. It's really cool. It's really got a good swimming action to it. Just slow rolling it. Look at that thing, just wiggle back and forth. This is the bait right here that helped me a lot at Havasu. It was that bait right there. Small, it was a smaller one I was throwing. This is the bigger, meatier size, but I'll tell you what, this is a great little bait right here. It's got a great action to it. And it's something weedless I can throw up in those weeds when you start seeing them busting them shad if you can't get a topwater in there. And something you can throw right alongside the brush, which works really good, you know. And with Roosevelt having a lot of brush, you got buzz baits. You can throw buzz baits this time of year. We're at the latter part of spring. So you got your buzz baits, your spinner baits, your, you know, anything weightless. Your Cincos work really well. You've seen us do well on Cincos in these trees. We're just trying to show you different ways of being able to catch them up in this brush. But you got to make sure whatever you throw is pretty much weedless. Otherwise, you're getting caught up all the time. So, you know, a good little old swim bait. You know, my good old buddy Andrew Napoleon that has A&M Graphics loves his swim baits, and he throws those big giant ones. And I'm still trying to get used to those a little bit. But and we've caught some nice fish on them. But the little swim baits work pretty good. It takes a while to get a little confidence in them. I'm throwing this on 14-pound test. So I can throw it up in the brush. You can go with 12. 12 will be good too. With this big meaty hook, you don't want to go much lighter than that. Otherwise you need to downsize everything. So, you know, then you can throw your, but I want to be able to get them out of the brush if I get a big fish. So I want to be able to wail on them a little bit. The ticket for this kind of fishing, a lot of times, is I just kind of take the trolling motor and I start heading down the bank, and you got to really watch what's going on in the water because you'll see shad. If you start seeing shad, you know you're in the right area. That's the whole ticket, is finding them shad. And those fish will be up in there, and we've seen them busting some shad in this particular cove. What I love about this bait too is there's not a whole lot to it to work it. You can work this bait slow, you can work it fast, you can wake it, you can, you know, you got to play with the cadence of what the fish want for sure. I like to be able to bring it right by the brush pile, and a lot of times if they're sitting in that brush pile, they will whack it. It's a great little bait. I'm using a fast retrieve ratio reel. You got to have a fast retrieve ratio reel. If you're throwing something real slow, sometimes you won't be able to catch up with the fish because a lot of times they'll hit it and dart out. You got to catch up to them. So I like that 6.3 to 1, or, you know, something kind of fast. Even though I'm reeling it slow like this, it works out really good. I got her. Oh, I got the fish. Oh my goodness. It's a monster, folks. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is the biggest fish of my life. Oh no, get out of there. Oh, I gotta catch this fish. Oh, we need this one in the boat, son. That's what I'm talking about, son. That's what I'm talking about right there. Little sight fishing for you. I happened to see that fish roaming, put that cactus wren bait right in front of its face, and look at that. It was a white craw. Oh, we got to get some Facebook pics and let her go. Oh my goodness. Oh my good, 9 pounds. 9 pounds. All right, let's let this baby go. Yeah! Oh my goodness. I gotta tell you what I caught this fish on. Look at this. Look at this. I'm all nervous. Oh, that was a great fish. Oh my goodness. Cactus wren products outdoors have made great products. They've just come on board with us on the show this year, and I'd ran into these folks at a tournament showing their baits off, and I thought, man, those are some great looking baits, and they're made right here in our very own state for our very own fish. Let me tell you something. I'm wore out. That was a big fish. Okay, here you go. You have a big old football-headed hook that works just phenomenal, and you see it's hinged. What I love about that hinge is the fact that the bait moves up and down. While you're shaking this, the bait will move up and down. What I'm throwing is their craw that's got the little flappers on it. And I could see it because that fish kept roaming up and down, up and down. I made enough casts in front of that thing. She finally just, and she was interested in it. You just had to, a lot of times if you get a fish that's interested in your bait, don't leave it. Reposition your boat. Make different casts to it. Don't throw right up on top of it. When it's swimming, when these fish are roaming, throw way up in front of them. That's the biggest ticket, is so many people throw like 1 foot in front of them and the fish scares and spooks. You have to be able to throw way up in front of them when they do that. And so I noticed that fish roaming up and down this little spot. I'm gonna tell you something. There is nothing that beats the quality of my power poles for this kind of fishing. Let me tell you, I would really predict that I would not be able to catch that fish without the power poles. They all come, everything comes into play. It's almost like a big team effort to be able to catch a fish like that. That was fun. Oh my goodness, big old 17-pound test line. Would you believe that I tried throwing a drop shot with 6-pound test line on that fish? I'm glad it wasn't interested at first. I got to thinking, man, that fish is bigger than I think it is. I love it. And there, folks, is one on a Cinco. Come here, come here, come here, come here, come here. Just a little buck bass in this stuff on a Cinco. You know, one thing I really love to do this time of year, when you know they're shallow, is get deep in what I call just get way deep in the brush. And if the deeper you get back there, a lot of guys will fish the outsides of this stuff, but if you can get inside of it, a lot of times you can catch fish. One of my favorite baits to throw in there is just a weightless Cinco. This isn't just going down and hitting trees. Now remember, we've done shows on just going down and hitting trees. You know, the branches and things like that of the tree sticking out. I gotta get a new Cinco. But just a watermelon Cinco or a green pumpkin or something like that works really good. And like I said, I use a 3/0 wide gap hook on that. But you know, we've done shows where we've actually just tossed it just isolated trees. This is different. This kind of brush line like this, they'll get up in there and chase them shad, and it's hard to get baits in there. Sure, you can flip. We're in clear water though, and in clear water, I like subtle things, you know? And so like a weightless lizard, a weightless Cinco up in that stuff really works well, and it'll catch you a lot of fish. And a lot of times there's some big fish up in there chasing shad, and then you know, most times than not, you'll catch a lot of the little ones too, but at least you're catching fish. So, and those fish will be roaming in and out. You'll hear some big splashes back there from the bass just pounding shad back in those areas that it's hard to get to. So you definitely want to give those an opportunity. You know, I get a lot of emails and a lot of questions on what to throw during the spring. Johnny, if you had a handful of lures, what would you throw? Well, I throw probably more than a handful of lures, but techniques is huge. You know, obviously I always have the drop shot hooked up. That's year round. It works great during the spawn, during the summer, during the fall and winter. I love the drop shot. So the drop shot rig is huge, and you'll notice during the spring that I use a real short leader. That's if I'm bed fishing and they're hanging more close to the bottom. My other thing is a Texas rig. I always like to have a Texas rig hooked up, which is this right here. You know, something white that I can see when I'm fishing beds. 3/8 ounce bullet weight. And I'll throw that kind of stuff on beds during the early spring. Now, as we start getting into the latter part of the spring, what I like to throw, you know, it starts getting windy, of course, is the spinnerbait. I always like that, especially if you're around a lot of brush, a lot of trees, and the wind starts kicking. A spinnerbait always works great. These are just a few of the baits that I really like to have on the deck if I'm in a tournament or something. And I'll tell you what, when it comes to my top waters, it's going to be a Zero Spook or a Junior and a Rico. I like the Rio Rico and the Rico. And as far as colors go, I like a bluegill pattern or a shad pattern. Bluegill more when the fish have just spawned and the fry are hanging around the trees and things like that, and early spring when they're on the spawn. I like the bluegill patterns a lot. And then I'll go to the shad patterns when I start seeing them busting shad alongside the walls and the trees and things like that, the bank. The other thing I like to throw is a little swim bait. It's a Key Tech. It's a great little swim bait. That, or of course you've got your Storm, and you've seen us throw some of Oliver's baits as well, the big ones. So I mean, there's a little bit of variety of choice there if you like to throw swim baits, something that comes through the water and looks kind of realistic. And of course, during the spring, you cannot give up on your soft jerk baits. Those things are awesome, like the Fluke, the Bass Assassin, anything like that works really well this time of year. And of course, one of my all-time favorites, the Sticko. You can get a Cinco, a Sticko from Bass Pro. You know, Cincos are made by Gary Yamamoto, and of course Stickos are made by Bass Pro. I like the Houdini color here. And I'll tell you what, it's an awesome bait to throw right in those trees. And you'll catch a lot of fish doing that weightless. I like that weightless. And those are just a few of the baits that I like to throw, and you'll see me throw them year round. I mean, but as far as early spring, that's if I'm going to do a tournament, a lot of times that's what I've got tied on, is those items right there. And I can generally go out and catch fish. So if you're looking for a place to start, that's where I would start. And now you know why pro bass fishermen have 10 rods on the deck a lot of times. Because they gotta have a different lure on for the different situations that they're fishing. Anytime you get short striking fish, you see what happened to my Cinco? I'll go to a shorter one. Use the same size hook, but I'll go to a shorter one. That was a 5/6 inch Cinco. I'll find one that's about 4 inches and throw out there and see if it'll take it. I'm gonna try this little 4-inch Houdini Sticko. We're gonna try that. I've got plenty of these. See if this fish will eat this. Remember, I'm gonna use the same size hook. I know it's a little bit big, but if he's short striking it and he's hitting it to protect an area or something, then it's not gonna matter too much to me. I want a big bite in there. It's the only way I'm gonna be able to get this bait down there where I need to. So I'm gonna stick nail weight inside the bait where it falls just a little bit faster, because it's just deep enough to where it's falling too slow for me, and I want it to fall fast. Not real fast, but faster than that. Now we'll see how she does. Yeah, much better. Okay. Oops. Cast better too. Here we go. All right. All right, fish. We're ready for you. Got him that time. Ah, yeah. Got that one. He thinks he's 10 foot tall and bulletproof. on that key tech. You can cover a lot of water and have a lot of fun doing this, folks. Whether it's a spinnerbait, a Senko, you know, all these fish are getting shallow, and how much fun is that? Hey folks, for my tip of the week, one thing I want to tell you a little bit about this kind of fishing that I'm doing here is it's very important when you're throwing these little swimming baits, or if you're throwing Senkos, that it's very important this time of year to make sure that you hit in the middle of the bush. And what I mean by that is a lot of times if you're throwing a swim bait, a spinner bait, something like that, you want to throw past the middle of the bush and bring it through. Like this tree right up in front of us, this bush here. You want to hit left side of the bush, right side of the bush, but so many people are scared to get caught in the middle, and a lot of times those fish will be sitting right in the middle, and you don't want to miss those fish. So you want to make sure that you throw that bait right across there, especially if it's weedless, and catch those fish that might be in the center of that bush. And if you feel like you bump the stump a little bit and shake it loose, a lot of times they'll come out and just pop it. But it's very important to hit in the middle of the bush a lot of times this time of year. Boy, I'll tell you what a day we have had today. Oh man, I never thought Roosevelt could pound out big fish like that one, but that was a lot of fun. I had a blast on this lake today. It's starting to slow down a little bit, but it's, you know, as far as the sight fishing goes, but as far as the rest of it, the fish are starting to get active in the trees, and that's where you want to start looking, is stay in the shallow, still work the trees, and don't forget that topwater early in the morning. If you're here early enough in the morning, you'll have a lot of fun. I had a great time on the show. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week. I'm Johnny Johnson.